Hi guys, I hope everybody's having a great day. I just wanted to go through the answers you should have hopefully gotten on the 911 Desmos activity. And I just want to make sure everybody was on the same page with why the answers were what they should be. So we're just going to go through slide by slide. So slide number one just asks if the question, do teenagers worry about getting poor grades? Is it biased or unbiased? So that actually is a biased question because the word poor. So you could say, do teenagers worry about their grades? The word poor automatically makes it seem like it's the kids who are getting bad grades. So it makes the question kind of biased. So you could write your explanation there. Okay, and then question number two, do you support the governor's education plan that ensures students will be more successful? So this one actually is biased because it's asking you two questions in one, kind of. So it says, do you support the governor's education plan? One, do you support the governor and his education plan? And then, do you believe that it'll make students more successful in school? So there's two different things. Like you could support the governor's education plan, but not necessarily make it mean it will be more successful, or vice versa. So that one's biased. This one says, does the frequent occurrence of brutal violence in video games and movies have a negative effect on the young people exposed to them? This one is also definitely biased because of this word brutal violence. So it's making you think they're bad, and obviously it's going to lead you to probably say they have a negative effect on kids. This one is, do you believe the current movie rating system is effective? This one is unbiased. There's not a lot of answers there's nothing in here that would cause that to be biased, and you not answer it in a way that would make sense. Okay, this one could be unbiased depending on who is asking you the question. So if this were a survey that I gave you and I asked you, should your teachers be paid more money, then that would be biased because I would be your desire to please. You're trying to please me. So it depends on this one how you would do your explanation. So this one says, moderate exercise is necessary to stay healthy. Do you exercise regularly? So this one is definitely biased because they're giving you a preface saying that exercise is necessary to stay healthy, and then they're trying to get you to answer if you do or not. So that's going to influence the way that you answer because of that beginning statement. Okay, so then this just went through example of which one go where and what the different types of sources of biases are. So I'm not going to read that. Hopefully you guys read it. And then these next ones, you guys are going to match up these cards. So you basically have biased wording, preface, question order, desire to please, and you have two questions in one. And then what you were trying to do is you were trying to match all of these cards with the type of bias they were, or if they weren't biased at all. So this is what you guys should have gotten. For me, I put biased wording, the teenagers worry about poor grades because that word poor, and then the frequent occurrence of brutal violence in video games, that brutal violence is your biased wording. I put the desire to please is your teacher should be paid more because technically I'm asking you that question in this moment. It's okay if you said that probably wasn't one, depending on who asked. This is two questions in one. We talked about that one a second ago. And then this one also is two. Do you enjoy the taste and amount of food that is served with the standard school lunch? So this is asking you two things and you can only answer in one way, which makes it biased. So you could enjoy the taste of the food, but you may not be happy with the amount of the food. You may want to get more. Or you could think that you get a ton of food, but that the taste is terrible. So you have a hard time answering that question because it has two things you're really answering. The preface was this one about exercise, and then this one is question order. So it says, all in all, are you satisfied or dissatisfied with the way that things are going in this country? Do you approve or disapprove of the way Donald Trump is handling his job as president? So if you are answering this very first question, you're saying that you're dissatisfied, you're probably going to say the same thing down here that you disapprove. Or if you're satisfied with the way things are going, then you're going to say that you approve of the way he's handling his job. So the first question leads to an answer, and the second one, it's not necessarily important to ask both. And then to me, I said this one was unbiased, so I left that there. Okay, and then in these next ones, you were supposed to just come up with examples of how, so it's this question, you've been asked by the U.S. Department of Education to survey people about the president's new proposal to extend the school year from the current length of 180 days to 200 days. A survey question might be, do you think students should attend school for 180 days as they do now or for 200? And you want to rewrite this using your different types of biases. So this first one wants you to do preface, which is you're putting the sentence in front of it that gives information that will bias it. So a good example that I had is it says, in 20 days, you can get a lot done outside of school. Do you think students should attend school for 180 days as they do now or for 200 days? So this first sentence is going to influence the way that you answer that question. Okay, same question, but I want you guys to write it with biased wording. So a good example of this is, do you think students should be forced to attend school for 180 days as they do now, or get 20 more grueling days? So these two words are going to be biasing. Forced and grueling is your biased wording there. Okay, same question, but you want a desire to please. So it says, do you think students should attend school for 180 days as they do now, or would they benefit from another valuable 20 days of learning important materials? So I think this is desire to please the people who are asking the question, saying that it's valuable, it's going to the Department of Education, all that good stuff. And then this one wants two questions in one. So do you think adding an additional 20 days to the end of the school year would make students happier and more successful? So you're asking two things here. Are they going to be happier? Probably not. Are they going to be more successful? Maybe. Or you could be vice versa. They may be happier about it and they may not be as successful. So that's hard to answer because there's two things they're asking you. And then this one was question order. So it says, do you feel like students would improve their success rates if they had more education? Do you think students should attend school for 180 days as they do now, or 200 days? So in this, if you answer the first question with yes, if they go to school for longer, they're going to have higher success rates, then that means that you're probably going to say yes to having 20 days added to the end of the school year. So the question order of this doesn't make sense because your first question leads to an answer for the second, or it basically gives you that answer. Okay, and then the very last things that we did, or hopefully that you guys did, is you were just supposed to investigate open versus closed. So there are many considerations involved when writing a survey. So for example, considering the following two survey questions. Question 1, what's your favorite way to exercise? This is an open question. Question number 2, which is a closed question, which of the following ways do you prefer to exercise? Running, swimming, team sports, dancing, or skiing? So for this, it wanted you to say the advantages or disadvantages of using question 1. So an advantage of using an open question is you get more honest answers, more reliable answers, because people can answer in any way that they choose. The problem is that you get too much data and it's hard to narrow down the information to be able to say results. So let's say you gave this to an entire Algebra 2 trig class. So I gave it to all 30 of you guys in one room. You could have in question number 1, 30 different answers to this question. So you're getting people's true opinions on this, but you're not getting very good data to kind of analyze and get statistics on and go that way. And then this next one wanted question number 2, what's the advantages and disadvantages? So disadvantages, they only can choose from these 5. So they are closed in what they can answer, and you're probably not getting the best results from those students. You may not be getting what they actually want to do for exercise or what they prefer. But on the flip side, you are getting only 5 answers. So you're able to take that data and do a bunch of analysis on it and get more reliable results that you can post out there. So these are the 2 ways that you can ask questions, and there's pros and cons to both of them. So I hope that makes a little sense. And then you guys were done. So all you had to do was close this out. I hope this was a little fun and kind of a different way of doing this, but I just want to make sure we were all on the same page of what you should have gotten on this. All right, guys, hope you're having a great day. Bye.